back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So I got a new mod in tonight. This is the Revel GT carbon fuse box cover. I've been actually looking for this for months. I guess the supply was it was really low, so there wasn't many of them, if any at all. So every place that I asked, they were either out of stock or they were getting them in, in 12 to 14 weeks. So it was insane. So I just kind of kept my head low. I wasn't really looking for it. And I just said, once it comes in, I'll get one. But I actually reached out to SMY Performance, I think a couple months ago. They got back to me and said they're not going to get any in until December, probably January. So I kind of took them off the plate. I realized, I already reached out to them and I knew they weren't going to have them in stock. So I put up a post on Instagram or a story saying, if anybody has one, please let me know. And someone actually messaged me and said, I think SMY Performance has one. And then, I wrote back to them and said, no, I already contacted them. They're not going to get any for a while. I said, let me just check. Went on the website and they said they had one in stock. So I messaged them. I was saying, I've already reached out to you. You said you weren't going to have them, but now I see one in stock. Is it true? Ends up, they did have one in stock. I ordered this yesterday and it's already here. So huge shout out to SMY Performance. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that you guys have one in stock because I really wanted this for a long time. So here we go. Enough chit chat, enough story time. Let's check it out. Like I said, this is the carbon fuse box cover from Revel GT. I actually have their hood scoop by Revel GT, which I really love. The quality is awesome. So I knew I wouldn't have any issues when I got this. But very similar concept. They just have some 3M tape on the bottom, some cleaner, and then they have some primer to help adhere this to the actual fuse box cover. So super nice. As you can tell, it is real carbon fiber. It's not fake. It's not fiberglass, overlaid with carbon fiber. It's actually full real carbon fiber, as you can see inside. Really, really nice. A lot of people think these are full replacement covers. Nobody sells that. This is even the Password JDM one. It's just something that goes over top the stock one, which I'm okay with. There's a reason why I went with this specific one. Now, if you notice, there's kind of a recessed depression around here. So it kind of bumps down a little bit. The Password JDM one is just totally flat, which I think is very nice as well. The reason why I like this one the most was because of that depression. Now, I'll show you in a second, but if we go over to my intake, which is the Cobb Redline carbon fiber intake, it has the same exact design. It's recessed, it's kind of outlined like this, so it's a perfect match. It's gonna flow really well in the engine bay, and I think it's just gonna look really, really nice. So let's hop over to the engine bay and show you what I'm talking about, and as to why I really wanted this. All right, so I'm gonna take you over to the engine bay just so you can get an idea what I'm talking about. So if you look on the Cobb SF Redline intake, you can see that design cue, the depression in the middle with the outline. It's exactly like this. It's very, very similar style. And also a really nice part is the weave is going in the same direction. Everything's going to flow really nicely. So I thought that was really cool. Two different companies have a very similar design cue. And I thought it was going to work really well. So this is what we're actually going to be working on. It's literally just the cover. It's going to sit right on top of it, which I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with. But if you notice in the engine bay, I have a few carbon fiber parts. I don't like going overboard with carbon, especially on the exterior, but the engine bay especially because, there's a lot of parts. I know Password JDM has you can pretty much cover the entire engine bay with carbon fiber pieces, which some of them look nice, some of them I'm not crazy about. But either way, if you look on this side, I have the carbon fender shrouds here. Then I got the Cobb carbon here. And then if you move over to this side, all I have is the fender carbon right here. So it kind of gets lost, and I think it looks a little uneven since I have, two pieces here and then just one piece here. So putting the cover on, I think it's going to really complete it, finish it off, so it'll be kind of even. So I'll have two and two, and then I also got this piece in the middle. So it's going to flow really nicely, and I think it's going to look really right at home in that spot. I think I'm going to take it off, bring it over to the workbench, and then we'll pick up from there, cleaning everything down and getting it ready. All right, so we got it off the car. You get two different things. You get a cleaner and a primer. So the first thing you want to do is actually clean this up to get any dirt and grime and oils that may be on here, just so you're getting a good adhesion. One thing to note, you don't have to really clean the sides. I mean, I'm going to anyway since it's going to be covering it. But the main point of contact is going to be underneath here with all that tape. So the top is what you really want to clean off the most. So basically this cleaner or this towel, it's like an alcohol wipe, an IPA sort of cleaner. So I'm just going to go around, clean up any dirt. You know, obviously this is an engine bay, so it gets dirty over time. I keep my engine bay pretty clean, but still you can see some dirt coming off of there. But like I said, you want to pay close attention to the top here because that's where it's going to be actually adhering to this part. All right, so we got it nice and cleaned up. It's looking super clean. You know, any residual dirt or anything is off of it. So the next step we're going to do is use this primer. We're just going to wipe the top down where it's actually going to stick. What this does is actually just create a better bond to the actual piece. You don't really have to use this. I don't really find it completely necessary, but it definitely helps. Definitely stinks. So make sure you're in a well ventilated area. But just gonna throw it on here. And what you're actually gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna let it get a little tacky. You don't wanna put it on right away. So in the meantime, I'm gonna peel off the backing of the tape here. There's nothing worse than taking this stuff off. All right, so we got the tape, all the backing off the tape ready. So now we're simply just gonna line it up. Make sure it's in the right spot. And then push it down. This thing fits really well. It's nice and snug. I didn't think it was gonna be as form-fitting, but it really slides on there really well. Now I'm just going around pushing it down, making sure it's stuck to the actual piece well. You know, I'm not afraid of this thing actually coming up because it's gonna be under the hood. So it's not like I'm gonna be driving, it's gonna fly off or anything, but still, you know, make sure it's dry, make sure it's actually stuck on and before you put it on the car. Oh, here we go. Here's the overall look. Very clean. Look how clean it actually lines up with the bottom of the actual cover. You can't even see it. It's perfect. Actually, it adds a little bit of weight to it, so it feels a little bit more, I guess, premium, a little bit more upscale as opposed to just the plastic piece, but cool. One thing I'm actually gonna do is ceramic coat this real quick before I put it in the car. All the carbon fiber that I have on the car, as well as the engine bay, I have ceramic coated. You know, especially in the engine bay, a lot of carbon fiber parts, they have, you know, there's just a coating on here, a gel coating. It's not really clear coat, so it can yellow and fade over time. But if you coat it and you know, take care of it properly, it's not going to happen. So one thing that I always do with any carbon in the engine bay is actually ceramic coat it. I'm going to throw some Gtechniq CSL on there, and then a layer of EXO. And it should be ready to go. So let me grab that, get this prepped, and then we'll get it on the car. All right, so this is Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light. This is what I use on cars to, you know, if I'm coating a car or anything like that. Stuff is absolutely awesome. It's very user-friendly. It's not very hard to do at all, so don't be discouraged by it. But I have not much left. So this will easily cover a car. I'm simply just going to wipe it on. Now, ceramic coating, a lot of people, they get discouraged by it because some people think it's really hard to apply or they don't know what they're doing, but honestly, it's just as easy as applying wax. You just have to know what to look for on certain things, you know just how it reacts and everything. But otherwise, it's very simple. I mean, you just saw me do it. Just layer it on, do nice even strokes, and then you just kind of go back and level it off. The nice thing is you don't really let this sit and dry. You just wipe it right off pretty much when you're done applying it. All right, so I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a little bit, you can kind of see it right there. There's like a little bit of it looks like a wet. You can kind of see, it just looks a little wet. And up in person, you can kind of see like a little bit of a rainbow effect. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna wipe it right off, wait a little bit, then we can throw on some EXO. So I got the CSL on there, wiped off. What I did actually prior to this was I just did a quick polish because anything that you put a ceramic coating on, if you don't have the finish underneath, the way you want it. Whatever the finish is what's going to show through the ceramic coat. So if you see any scratches or any hazing or anything like that, it's best to actually polish it out. What I did was take some Sonex Perfect Finish, just kind of did it by hand. I didn't take out the machine or anything. I just kind of went around to make sure there was any hazing or scratching or anything that I did see. Just make sure that was gone. Now, since I put the CSL on, wiped it off, it's ready. I'm going to wait the recommended 1 to 2 hours. The reason for that is it lets it cure, and then it gets ready for the final step, which is EXO. EXO is what makes it actually look like a wax. A lot of ceramic coatings look very synthetic and fake, but the EXO actually makes us look super deep. It looks very similar to wax, which is one of the reasons why I love this product. So you can either do 1 to 2 layers after the 1 to 2 hour wait time. I'm gonna go work out and let this cure and get ready, but it's looking beautiful and can't wait to get this on the car. So for you, it's only gonna be like 1 second, but for me, it's gonna be a full workout and 1 to 2 hours of waiting. Catch you guys in a couple seconds. Guys, so it's been 1 hour. I was gonna wait the full 2, but I realized it's very warm in the garage. It's pretty much 80 degrees in here, and it's such a small piece. So the actual coating on here is definitely cured. If you want to go overboard or wait the full 2 hours, there's obviously nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to go ahead and throw a layer of EXO on. So I'm going to go ahead, throw a layer of EXO on. Same exact process. You just take the applicator. You'll run through EXO a little bit quicker because in one application, you'll do 2 coats of this, and on the CSL, you'll only do 1 coat. So you'll go through this much faster. But that's how much I have left. This is probably, I probably can get away with doing a full car. Not much. I'm going to have to order a new bottle soon. Either way, this is definitely plenty to get through this. So same exact scenario, like I said, it's going to take another hour or so to let it cure. So you can wait 1 to 2 hours between each coating. So I'll probably wait another hour like I did with the CSL. As you can see, very simple process. You just want to kind of go in one direction and you go back in the other. And the reason for that is so you get, obviously you get all the areas, but also so you smooth it out. You don't want to leave any high spots because you leave a high spot or a low spot, it looks a little funky, and you can see it once it dries. There you go. You can kind of see it right there. It just looks wet. Again, you can't really see it on camera, but it gets like a rainbow effect a little bit in person. But yeah, you don't want to let this sit and dry. You're just going to wipe it right off, just like CSL. I absolutely love the way EXO looks and feels. It is so smooth. But man, look at that. So hard to capture on camera, but absolutely beautiful. And I gotta say, the weave on here is really, really nice. My Revel GT carbon hood scoop is just as nice. There's no weird bends in the carbon. It's absolutely perfect. No imperfections. Oh, see, this is the kind of carbon that is worth it to me. This is what when I buy anything carbon, this is what I expect. I've had some problems with carbon pieces in the past. They just weren't up to my standards, and they just obviously are just fiberglass with a carbon layer on top of it, which most parts are. So it's really refreshing and nice to see when it's actually real carbon. And when it's this nice and it fits this well, really hard to beat. So huge shout out to Revel GT. You make some really nice stuff. So awesome. All right. So again, I'm going to let this cure for about an hour before I throw it on the car. I mean, I can throw it on now, but I figured I'd just let it sit for the hour and do my due diligence and make sure it's fully cured, and I'm not going to screw anything up because I want this looking like this forever. So I'll catch back up with you in a little bit and throw it on the car, and then we'll wrap this video up. There we go, installed. One thing that I absolutely love about this is, like I said, is the actual weave. It's going this way. It follows the shroud right here, follows the cob intake as well as the cover over here. So everything is going unison in the same way. One thing that I can't stand when people do is they get carbon from all different companies and they match them right up to one another, and the weave is at a different angle. It's going the opposite direction. It just looks crazy and too busy and very distracting. The only thing that I will say is back here with the bracket, since the cover's on top of it, it's a little bit wider. So you just want to be careful of that bracket when you're putting it on. You don't want to scratch it right here, but otherwise everything clicked in perfectly. Looks awesome. So happy I did that. So now everything here, there's 2 pieces here, 2 pieces here. Looks great. Love it. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to go over quickly as to why small stuff like this matters to me. Now, a lot of people will look at this and say, wow, how did you make an entire video just on a fuse box cover, ceramic coating it? You know, why? It's silly to make such a long video on it. This can literally be a minute-long video. You know, you don't even need to talk. You just throw it on and that'll be the end of it. But for me, small stuff like this matters. Small details. I get really excited about this stuff because I do a lot of research. I look for specific pieces that I personally think will look good on my car. And it's very rewarding when you find something that is exactly what you're looking for. And like I said, I needed something here. I wasn't crazy about the Password JDM one because it's flat. It doesn't have that indent, that depression like the Cobb intake does over here. When I came across this one, it was something that I had to have. I really wanted it. I knew it would be a perfect match. And it was just something that I needed for the car. A lot of people might just say like, wow, that's silly. Why would you spend $100 on just a cover that nobody's gonna see? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything performance oriented. It doesn't make the car drive better. And you're right, it doesn't. But for me, I'm the one that sees it. I open this hood probably once a day. When I come out here and just hang out in the garage or I'm cleaning the car or whatever it may be, I pop the hood, I'm wiping down the engine bay or just to look at it and admire, everything under here. And it makes me happy. Small details is what makes the entire car. Yes, I know wheels, I know, suspension and exhaust and stuff like that. I know that's more prevalent. I know that's more, it stands out way more. You see it obviously when you're looking at the car. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look over the entire car, everything flows really nicely. Half the stuff you don't even realize has been changed. And that is exactly why I do these small mods, because I know they were changed. I know it has my personal touch. I know there were things that I personally wanted to add to the car to make it my own. And this is a perfect example. Not many people will do this because I think it was about 110, 120 bucks shipped to me. And it just completes the engine bay. And when I pop this hood, it's gonna make me happy, and that's what matters. Adding all the small stuff together makes the entire picture complete. Don't just do this cover because I did it. Do it because you wanna do it. Do it because you have a vision in your mind that you want to create and you wanna see become a reality. So do it. Don't let anybody hold you back just because they may not like it or they think that's overpriced or, that's not what this is about. Modifying a car is creating your own vision, adding your own personality, and just showing your true passion for the car and what you think your perfect vision of whatever car it is that you're modding. I just wanted to relay that message and let you know that you're not alone, that the small mods do matter, and go out, save up, get what you want, do what you want to do. Take the time, research, find what you want, and do it right the first time. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel and watching the video. If you have any questions about this specific cover, I don't know when it's going to be back in stock. Last I heard, it's going to be 12 to 14 weeks until another batch of these is available. I don't know what vendor or what company is going to have them. I will leave a link below, so if you are interested in picking it up, keep an eye on SMY Performance. They might get a few more in. I don't know when, but that is where I got it from. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the cover or anything else on the car, be sure to ask them below. Thanks once again for joining in. Thanks SMY Performance for sending this out so quickly. I can't believe it, how fast I got this. But yeah, guys, that's it for this one. In the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, do what you want, not because others do it. I'll catch you in the next one.